Do you have like beaver boats, or are they just like normal?
Actually, at NCAA's last year, we actually got an award for the best oars.
Okay, both boats, getting ready. Coxswain's choice to move around 19 to 23.
And then that stretchiness of the top quarter drive.
Hello everyone and welcome to Sports Talk. I'm your host Issy Taylor and thanks so much for joining us. We have a super exciting episode planned tonight highlighting the OSU women's rowing team. We will be joined by 4 OSU rowers for a sit-down interview and a fun game of Never Have I Ever Student Athlete Edition. Recently I got the chance to go to practice with Muryn Greene, a senior on the OSU women's rowing team, and head coach Kate Maxim. Muryn gave us a tour of their facilities and we got to get to know her and her experience with rowing. Here's a look at our afternoon with Muryn. Hey guys, I'm here at the OSU women's rowing facility with Muryn Greene, a senior on the rowing team here. She's going to give us a tour around and we're going to get to know her.
Okay, so this is the erg barn. So in here we go. This is where we do most of our fall and winter training. We do a lot of meters in here, a lot of hard meters, a lot of long meters.
Do you guys always practice to music?
Yes, we always practice to music.
What's like the go-to music genre?
I would say for harder pieces, probably more like EDM, like dance music. And then for like longer pieces with like a lower rate, like some like R&B, rap, some like singy songs, like ABBA sometimes gets thrown in there just for fun.
There's a sign over here that says all ergs up.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, that's whenever they get cleaned every week.
Oh. I was like, is that like an inspirational, like let's get going team? Okay.
So this is my favorite part. This is our tanks. So sometimes if the water's a bit too rough and it's too windy, we come in here and do our practice in here sometimes.
Do you ever do any work on the boats? Or is that not your job?
All for John, because John knows what he's doing.
I'm good at pretending.
Yeah. And then we have like our flags up here of all the countries we have. Surprisingly, we don't have a US flag up there.
When you are aware that you're taking care of yourself, that makes you feel better. When you say, I am doing something intentional, and you're like, to take care of myself, just that acknowledgement with yourself builds a sense of preparation. And the preparation is your confidence.
They've raced really well this spring. They've made some fumbles here and there, but they're so responsive. It's about all you can ask for. They're going really hard. They care about each other. It's a healthy team.
I just really love the team culture. Like I felt like I really mattered on the team and like I wasn't just another number. Like I really was important for the team and to build it up and everything.
So Muryn, can you tell us a little bit where you grew up and how you got into rowing?
So I grew up in Northern Ireland in a little town called Clerici, and I started rowing at Band Rowing Club whenever I was 13 years old. Wow. And I got into rowing because I watched the Olympics in 2012 and I was like, I want to do that. That sport looks really fun and really fast.
I want you to still feel a push before you swing.
We're looking for people who are really curious, extremely hardworking, who want to be a part of something larger than themselves. There's sort of an insatiable drive and need for intensity there, and that they love a lifestyle of the grind. You know, they are, as I said, they train all year long.
We haven't filled in some of them yet. Yeah, so my one is going to be number 3 on the 6K one, but you can see my number 5 right there on the 2K board. We've got a super fast team, lots of updates this year, which is really exciting. Because before, whenever I first came here, at the bottom we still had like people from like 2001. Mm-hmm. So like now we're trying to get everyone up on the board.
You need to come a long way with your lateral pressure from your outside shoulder. It's a lot better. Just try to relax that inside shoulder a little bit more. You got the snags, Charlie? You got all the snags up there?
Oregon State would be proud of these women. These women are so thoughtful, intentional, powerful, and this is really meant to empower them for the rest of their lives. And I just want Oregon State to know that every year we're building something, we're bringing together some remarkable women, and we're asking them to take that out into the world and go do something meaningful with it.
We are now joined by Muryn Greene and 3 of her teammates, Giulia, Clerici, Taylor, Denger, and Keady, Judd. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Okay, now Muryn, I'm going to start with you. So you're a fellow international student here at OSU. What made you want to come study and compete athletically in the US?
I just really wanted the experience of living and training in the US. I'd seen plenty of girls from my club at home go to amazing programs and be really successful and have such an amazing time. They all said it was completely life-changing, so I wanted to experience that. I knew that NCAA rowing is super competitive and some of the best athletes in the world come here, and I just really wanted to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. And you're about to complete your degree here at OSU. What are your long-term goals with rowing, and how do you think OSU has prepared you for your next chapter?
So my plan is to go home in the fall and row at Leander Club. It's a super successful program. They've produced Olympians for years now, and Oregon State's really prepared me for that. They've showed me what the grind means and how to work hard, how to build important relationships with coaches and with teammates. And yeah, just really technically wise, I've improved so much at Oregon State. I've had amazing coaching and just a really great time, so this set me up well for the fall.
Yeah, and after these 4 years at Oregon State, what is some advice that you would give to someone in another country who's wanting to compete in college athletics in the US?
I would tell them to definitely come and do it. You're only the ages of 18 to 22 once in your life, and you're never going to get this opportunity again to develop as an athlete, as a person. Being so far away from home is intimidating, but it also teaches you to take initiative and be brave, and that will set you up for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and that's so awesome. And Giulia, you're also an international student athlete here at OSU from Italy. How did you get into rowing, and what made you want to pursue it as a sport?
So I started rowing thanks to my mother. She brought me to my home club in 2014, and I was already playing sport, but I was looking for something more, and then I found rowing, which is a lot, but it's really good. And it's just, I like everything about it. I like the sound of the horse going on the water, the boat moving, the inner drive that you get. It's just a lot, and that's why I want to keep going. And after those 4 years at OSU, I would like to keep rowing and see how far I can go.
Mm-hmm. And you're approaching the end of your first year here at OSU. What are some of the differences that you've noticed from Corvallis compared to your hometown in Italy?
So Corvallis is bigger than my hometown, but apparently for Americans this is still big. Small. This is still small, sorry. And yeah, so I'll take it, but for me this is big. And my hometown is full of old people. And here it's way younger, there are a lot of college students going around, and everyone is just so nice. Everyone is smiling. It's just a lot of positive energy, and this is something that it's really stuck with me, because in Italy everyone just look at you up and down, and here everyone smiles oh, I love your shirt today. I'm thank you. It's just a unique vibe. I love it.
That's very sweet. You must have a very nice shirt on. And there are a large number of collegiate rowing programs here in the US, but what made you want to choose OSU?
So I was talking to a lot of programs, and OSU was not my first choice at the beginning, but then I realized that when I came here for my visit, I realized how good the team was. Not just how fast or strong, but how the people were. And here I felt I didn't feel like a number, I felt like a person. And I really knew that coming here I could give something special and not just be another person on a boat. So I just think that this program is really unique and on a lot of aspects better than others. Even if some may be faster, this is really good.
And what do you think the best part about being an international student in the US is?
Being, as Muryn said, like being so far from home really helps you like get more mature and learn more about yourself. And you always have time to go back if you don't like it, but it's once in a lifetime thing, and it's like a train. You either jump on it or you miss it. And I'm glad I took it because that's once in a lifetime. And yeah, it's just a beautiful experience to like be on the other side of the world, so away from everyone, you just discover yourself.
Such an amazing adventure. Now, Taylor, you were also a freshman on the OSU women's rowing team, and you play the role of a coxswain who is extremely important in the team's success. How did you get started as a coxswain, and what inspired you to want to pursue this role in rowing?
I got started when I was 12 years old. In my county, our local rowing club went to every single middle school and brought their ergs and had all of the kids do like a 1,000 meter full out hard as you can go erg challenge. And just seeing that environment, even at age 12, seeing like the kids hype each other up, just like the coaches hype up the kids, it was just like, it seemed so fun. And I didn't know like what it actually looked like to be on the water in a boat doing it. So I was like, we'll give it a shot over summer. So I did, and the coaches looked at me and were like, you are a bit too small to be a rower. So they were like, we're gonna have you try as a coxswain. And I didn't really know what that was, and I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot, you know, like we'll just try it. And I just remember like that camp kind of just like changed my whole perspective on like being an athlete, being like, especially in the coxswain role, being able to like lead like the rowers into like going fast, just having fun, being out like in nature. It was just such a good environment, and that's kind of like when I knew I wanted to like pursue it for a long time.
Yeah, and can you describe the responsibilities and duties of a coxswain, not only in competition but also in training?
Yeah, in training, a lot of it at Oregon State is coxswains kind of taking like the coaches' like instructions and kind of making it really cohesive into practice management, making sure the rowers are being held accountable to like what they can do, like speed-wise, you know, and just kind of like cleaning up whether it's like, you know, like catches or like anything like that, making sure that they're meeting the standards that we know we can get them to. And in race day, a lot of it's like real-time decision-making, whether it's like a little rate step or a shift down or like a kind of reset call or just something to kind of get like a little bit more like push for like more. And a lot of it's from like the trust of the crew to like having me to make those decisions and what it's right, but also trusting myself being like, I can do this. I am like in charge. I know what this needs. Let's go.
Navigating a lot under pressure. And what's your strategy for navigating a race course, and how do you make those split-second decisions for the boat and the team?
A lot of the times, like navigating a race course, like sometimes I'll write out like a race plan being like, okay, at 500 meters in, we're gonna do 10 strokes for like the top quarter connection, or at like 1,500 meters, we're gonna do 10 strokes to kind of reset, prepare for our ending sprint sequence. But of course, it's like, one of my coaches put it well, like a living document where nothing is ever set. It's just kind of like, again, trusting myself and like maybe even going through it, visualizing the course in my head, imagining those uncomfortable positions and seeing how I respond, how I react to where like I can make that race the most efficient for the crew and for Oregon State.
Yeah, and it's managing a lot of pressure. And how do you deal with that and just kind of off the course as well, make those game plan decisions with your coaches like you were saying? Is there like a book of rules you kind of follow, or what's kind of the preparation look like?
It sure would be a lot easier if there was like a book of rules, but a lot of it's just kind of like guidelines. First off, for coxswains, at least like Oregon State's, like safety comes first, of course. So making sure we navigate like all the body of waters like in the most effective manner for our rowers, for our equipment. And it's just like we are, as freshmen coxswains, we are taught way early on, it's like safety is number one. So like if you have to like change something to make like the better of the crew, then do it. Like, you know, and communicate like with the coaches afterward, like maybe why that change was necessary. But it's still a lot about just kind of like trusting, believing in yourself, and just kind of like, okay, I feel this is right, so we're just gonna go do it.
That's so awesome. And Keady, you have just transferred here from Kansas to OSU. What has your experience been like so far?
It's been crazy. It's been one adventure, and I've only been here for a year so far. I spent 1 year last year at Kansas, and I met amazing people, like had a great time. Just wasn't exactly what I was looking for. And when I got here, I can honestly say that it changed the way that I view Division I women's athletics. Some of my like earliest memories was we all came here early in the summer, and it was just team practices. The coaches weren't there, and I have never walked into the barn with that much energy. Like, we had the music blasting, we were doing an AT erg, and it was just energy that was contagious to me, and it was so fun to be a part of that, and to see that like these group of women can make that on their own and emulate it through the whole year.
Mm-hmm. And were you nervous when you came to a new program compared to your old program, and how did the team welcome you?
I was so nervous. I was really trying to play it off that I was like chill and cool and level-headed, but inside I was so nervous. But I was immediately welcomed with open arms. I remember on my visit having like conversations with some of the women on the team, and when I got here like officially, they remembered those conversations, which was huge to me. They remembered specific details about like where I'm from, how I got to Oregon State, and that was just huge that like everyone on the team took the extra time to welcome me. And you know, being a transfer is really hard at times, like walking in, not being a freshman, being a second year. So it was a little difficult, or I was expecting it to be difficult to, you know, mesh with the team, but it came so easily.
That's so awesome. And how do you mentally prepare for a race? And what strategies do you use to stay focused and motivated during a competition?
If you would have asked me that question in prior years, I would have said that I'm super internal. I like to be super serious, like have my AirPods in, don't talk to me, like I'm in the zone. But I'm so different now. It works for me now. I can be like silly and goofy and have a laugh with my team, like even on the warm-up on the course. Like we can still be so professional and be able to lock in and turn it on when we need it to be. But how our coach Mike perfectly explained it to me, and it makes so much sense of nervous energy and excitement energy are the same thing. Mm-hmm. So I channeled all of my nerves into me just being super excited for the race and having opportunity to go really fast and show what we've all worked so hard for.
That's so awesome. Now, when I came to practice the other day, I realized how much teamwork plays a huge role in rowing and being in a boat together. What is the team camaraderie like, and what type of team bonding activities do you guys do outside of rowing?
So whenever I first came here, there was definitely a sense of like building up the culture, and I've seen it come so far, being a freshman to being a senior now. Something we've done this year that we haven't done in years past, we have a trust jar. It's just a big jar, and we have little post-it notes, and if we see something cool happen at practice, we write it on the little post-it notes and then put it in a jar. It can be something about another person on the team, it can be something about the practice as a whole, it can be something about yourself that you built trust over. And then we read them all before Pac-12s this weekend, which was really awesome just to see like all the trust we built up throughout the whole year.
Yeah, and I think Muryn explains it perfectly. Like, we have the sense of using the terminology of like building up culture, especially for any newcomer coming in. Like we all have the responsibility to continue to build the culture. It's not, you're just gonna walk in, it's gonna happen. Like, we have to every day build it and like prove that we are building it currently. And it's just super cool to see that like every day, like even PPS practices that like, you know, you're on the erg for 120 minutes, like it's kind of sucks. Like that's like huge trust, like building of trust of teammates, of seeing the women next to you, like fighting for a split, like you want to also do that because you want to have you want to build trust with your teammates.
Yeah, it seems like trust is a big part of this team camaraderie and you guys together. And you did compete yesterday, the Pac-12 Championships in Eugene. What role did teamwork play in that and the trust that you guys spoke on in how the performance went?
So for every boat is different. Me and Keady, we are on the second varsity 8. And for us, a big thing that determines like the outcome of the race is like the vibe. Like we really need to stay vocal and be loud, like use the nervous energy as excitement. So like we were cracking jokes and singing out loud like in the van while going to the course. And like that doesn't mean that we are not professional, but like it's our way to channel our energy, and I think it's really good to like show that like you're excited to do what you gotta do. Like we choose rowing every day, so like you're showing it off.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Well, we are going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to play a fun game of Never Have I Ever Student Athlete Edition with our 4 rowers here with us today. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
All right, we go live in 5, 4,
Ready, camera 2. And wipe it.
Welcome to KBVR-TV. Come join our team.
Audio, man, it's in the air. It's the fluctuations that vibrate our ear holes and make the cochlea sensitive, you know? You can't ignore it, and you try to start measuring it, and it just pulls you in. Well, I used to try to play music on my own, make the sounds from my own hands and instruments. Then I started recording. Upon hearing myself in my recordings, I decided I should just record. When you're a young adult who is serious about pursuing media as a career or even a side hustle, a lot of people won't take you seriously. OMN is cool because not only will they take you seriously, they'll push you and they'll give you all the tools to really try to do something special with it and let you be creative about it. And so that's what's been special about OMN to me. I'm Sam Lay, and I'm a student engineer at Orange Media Network.
Welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm here with 4 OSU women's rowers, and we are going to play a fun game of Never Have I Ever Student Athlete Edition. Now, you guys each have a paddle with one side saying I have and one side saying I have never. And I'm going to ask you a series of student athlete related questions to which you answer with your paddle. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's get into it. Never have I ever been late to practice. Ooh.
You've never been late?
Okay.
Dang.
Okay, that's great, that's great. Okay, never have I ever thrown up after a race or practice. Oh, okay.
That's surprising. That's like not, yeah, because there's so many girls on the team who do, and we're just not there.
Tula should have been here.
Yeah. We'll knock on some wood. Okay. Never have I ever rowed in a different position, i.e. not my usual seat, in a boat during a race. Where have you guys rowed? On the opposite side? Or in a forward or back?
Yeah, I've rode opposite side. I rode pretty much every seat, I think, at this point in a race. And I've also like steered a boat before during a race, which was interesting.
I've been in the position of a coxswain. I've been in the back, switching side. I did everything.
What is it like when you guys switch sides from your dominant side normally? Is it a weird feeling?
It's a different world. I know some people can do both. I'm not one of those people. I like turn into a novice. I can't do it.
Yeah, we get pretty blistered hands. So like if we switch sides, then it's usually the other hand that gets really like torn up.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, never have I ever fallen asleep in class. Oh, what
My
class?
mother would be proud of me.
We got scholars here.
Must be interesting classes.
What class did you guys fall asleep in?
I fell asleep in my econ class whenever I was a freshman. That's my major, so that's terrible.
I fell asleep in my math class. So, I mean,
It happens. It's totally fine. Never have I ever rode with a broken oar or equipment failure during a race. Ooh. Taylor, tell us about it.
Well, you know, coxswains, we're all like mic'd up and everything in the boat. There were definitely times in junior rowing where it would just kind of die out and then would not come back. And you know, I did an 8 in my like junior years, so it's really difficult trying to be vocal and project all the way like down like 25, 30 feet. You know, for like a good 2K.
So you must have to yell super loud.
Yeah, my voice is definitely gone after that.
Oh, that's great. Okay, never have I ever forgotten my rowing uni for a race. Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Julia.
no one. Okay, sorry guys.
Did you guys
Sorry.
did you guys have to turn around and go back, or did you just get there and?
No, I asked for, so my home club is really small and I was the only girl at the time. So I had to use a friend, like a guy on the team, uni, so it was really big. So I was like, we hair tie, like clipping it everywhere, trying to fit on me. It was a fail, but you know, from it, never forget it again.
Oh wow, what was that like being the only female at the club?
It was interesting, like that was definitely like I was comparing myself to the men's numbers. I was definitely getting more competitive.
Yeah.
At the same time, it was kind of sad. It didn't last for long. Like then a few girls came, but it was a good 6 months alone.
That's great. Okay, never have I ever come back from behind to win a race in the final seconds. Which are we thinking of the same race?
Well, me and Giulia just had one yesterday. Yeah. We came off the line dead last.
Yeah.
We're able to like in the 6.5 minutes like walk through 3 crews and right behind Cal. So
yeah, that
exciting
was
about that.
I think most of our races this season we were all kind of slow off the start, and we all managed to like, especially our 2 boats, like our 3 boats, like we were able to walk through all the crews. Like, especially in our first race of the season, we walked through like 4 or 5 crews, I think it was.
Yeah, because we have such a good base.
Yeah.
We're so good at the base.
The body,
It goes so fast.
the body of our piece is like the strength that we have. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. Well, thank you guys so much for playing. That was so much fun. The women's rowing team's regular season came to a close yesterday at the Pac-12 Championships in Eugene, and tomorrow the team will find out if they have qualified for the NCAA Women's Rowing Championships. Make sure to follow Muryn, Giulia, Taylor and Keady, as well as the rest of the OSU women's rowing team this season as they approach the conclusion of the year. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show. It was so great having you here, and best of luck to all of you for the rest of your athletic careers.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Well, from all of us here at Sports Talk and KBVR-TV, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.